Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I am Tanika, and today we are going to be finally starting with Love is Blind. So, here's how it's going to happen. So, I know there hasn't been any episodes up until this point this week. You would have gotten the last episode, I believe, Sunday morning. But yeah, there's been a lot kind of going on. So you will be getting just an influx of episodes between now, today, which is Friday, and until Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Because we have a long weekend here in Canada, so that's going to be very helpful. And I don't have to deal with anything having to do with Next Take podcast. So I'm going to be getting as much of these episodes out to you as possible so we can do some serious catching up. So usually we don't do any hot goss, no ads, anything for the Netflix binges. So that's how we'll be doing this. So you're going to be getting the first episode of Love is Blind, which is covering episodes 1 and 2. But there will be a little bit of a pause until we can get back to the rest of the Love is Blind episodes because I'm trying to finish. I have a whole bunch of episodes coming to you. Well, I can't remember them all, but Sister Wives is ready to go. Below Deck Sailing Yacht is ready to go. So we got some Golden Bachelorettes coming. So those are going to be coming first. And then we'll kind of get back into Love is Blind once I finish that up. And then we'll get back into the 90-day universe. We also have Married at First Sight started this week, started on Tuesday. It's now moved to Tuesday nights, apparently. Did not know this was coming. Thanks to Ava. It popped up. So, otherwise I would have missed it and would not have even known it was back. But so here's what we're going to do with Married at First Sight, just because, I'm not sure how this is going to be going for this season. I've absolutely lost hope with Married at First Sight after season 17. So I will still discuss Married at First Sight, but we're gonna probably be doing it in such a way until I can see something kind of popping up with it that makes me wanna talk about it as a regular episode. What we're gonna probably do is, especially leading up into the weddings, because not a lot happens until they actually meet each other, get past the wedding, for some cases even get past the honeymoon stage. Not a lot really happens that is really fun to talk about. So basically, we're gonna probably do with that episode with that show until I can see something that makes me want to talk about it. Um, is we're gonna probably do like maybe a couple episodes at a time or 3 episodes at a time, and kinda just talking about kind of what's happening with it. Um, kind of, yeah, because I haven't seen the episodes yet. I don't know what we're working with the new episode. I have no clue. And usually this is kind of something that I probably would watch, without taking notes first, and then I kind of go from there. So I'm kind of, in a sense, going to be handling it similarly to Below Deck or Sister Wives, where we kind of do like little notes here and there, but even more so, more delayed than even that, because I do that as weekly as possible. We're probably going to be doing like an episode, 2 or 3 episodes in an episode where we just kind of just go through kind of quickly what happened. Since I just don't have faith in the show anymore. So that's what I'll be doing. But of course, if that picks up, um, where I feel a little more drama, where I feel like, the show is giving me what the show should be giving me, then I will cover that. And of course, if there's anything that you as a listener want to hear from Married at First Sight, on a more urgent basis, like if we do an episode, but then we have to wait another couple of weeks until we get another episode, let me know, and then we'll talk about it. And of course, you can let me know by going to social or emailing, and we'll do it that way, because I just, like I said, I don't have faith. I just don't. But that's basically that. We're not gonna do any more announcements. I just wanted to get that out of the way because it's the first episode you're getting after kind of being away for a little bit. Um, so I wanted to get that out of the way so we kind of know what's kind of happening with maths going forward and also what episodes you can expect to be getting right off the bat and stuff like that. Because I know we're in the second batch of Love is Blind as well. And I literally haven't even watched past the second episode. So that's where we're at. But and of course, I'll also try to see if we can get Ava on an episode. I'm not sure if we'll be able to, but I will try my best to see if maybe we can get her on the second batch of episodes, or maybe we can get her on a reunion episode or something like that. We'll see. So we'll see what kind of happens with that. And I am trying to get her on other episodes as well. We'll see how things go. She's momming. So that's part of the problem with getting her on. Not really a problem, but yeah, trying to get her on uh, is not easy currently. But anyway, we'll do our best. And if not, well, yeah, me. It's fine. So let's get into this episode. So, Love is Blind, Season 7, Episode 1, No More Situationships. So, we kind of start this episode off with, I guess that was the men singing, "Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no river low enough, ain't no river, whatever the fuck. I can't remember. To keep me from you." Yeah. Um, so we see Vanessa and Nick, duh, and they go through the usual shit. You gotta fall in love or break up forever or whatever the hell, right? But Nick has never heard of the term situationship before, which I mean, he's been married for a million years, whatever. But it's like, really, you've never heard the term situationship, like, ever? And then Vanessa makes this weird comment about, like, well, you want to have a situationship later. Vanessa, you too don't know what situationship means. Situationship is not that fun. I mean, it can be. It can be in certain situations, but once you're out of that situation, it's no longer fun, you know? Um, anyway, complicated. We used to use the term "it's complicated," and now we just call it a situationship. But anyways, we've all at some point been in a situationship. This is a weird interaction. Anyway, one person who we will hear from a little more throughout these next couple of episodes, anyways. Um, and I think she's one of the people that is we follow as well. I've been avoiding news, so but anyways, she says that she literally quit her job in order to do this. Well, I hope it works out for you, ma'am, because you're going home broke if it doesn't. Broke and heartbroken. So, but as we know, the pods are now open. So one of the people's, I think his name is Lenny. He says he hates lettuce. Who hates lettuce? Because he says he hates lettuce because it's just like water, basically. Which, yes, lettuce is massively water. It's huge water content. People say, or the health nuts say, eat lots of salad because it fills you up more. But who hates lettuce? It's lettuce. Anyway, Ashley A and Tyler, they're kind of the first people we see talking to each other. He's got a new puppy that he tells her about. He cooks as well. And she's like, "Okay, let me write this down because oh boy, when you have a man who can cook, right?" Um they talk about kids, kind of getting right to it. But then we see her talking to Nick, which I think like I don't know if his name is Dorka or if he did a play on his name or something, but throughout we'll call him Nick D because that's kind of what we refer to him going forward as. And then we're kind of following Nick now, and we see him talking to Tara. and then Ashley, which I believe Tara is one of our sisters, although at this point we did not we weren't told this yet. So, the kind of the seems to be the consensus here is Nick is kind of a smooth talker. And we're kind of trying to figure out, I guess the women here are trying to figure out whether or not he is an F boy. Because you think smooth talker, you think an F boy, correct? Well, sometimes he could be a reformed F boy. I mean, here's the thing with an F boy. We've all dealt with an F boy. We've all dealt with one. It's kind of hard to not deal with an F boy at some point in time, right? And I do have a belief that an F boy can be reformed. And again, the term reformed F boy, I don't even know if that's really because again, people who know, I have talked about F boy Island, Lovers and Liars, whatever. So it's like the term reformed F boy. I don't know so much you can even say reformed F boy. It's just that they've grown up and they're like, okay, well, I have my player ways and now I want to, you know, settle down. So, yes, it is very possible that Nick D at some point was an F boy. Maybe he still is, who knows? But can they not be that quote unquote smooth talker and still want that, you know? You, I, women, man, we sometimes we say we want a man who is, has a charisma, has the game, has all that, right? Has the swagger. But then we complain when they have all that. Because then you're like, oh, well, then you're an F boy. Well, give the man a chance. Now, again, maybe this is going to be a pot of shame for me. Maybe he is an F boy. Maybe he's just the worst person right now. Because again, I think we are, 10 episodes in now or something like that. And I'm only at episode 2. So maybe that's possible. But how about we give him a chance? And the reason why I say this is because of kind of what happens, I think, towards the end of this episode into the next one. Or maybe it's just in the next one. I can't remember now. But it's just like, what the hell? Give this man a chance. It's just a smooth talker doesn't mean anything. But anyways. So someone says, don't miss me too much. I'm not sure who this was, but someone says this. And he says, like, I don't think I have been in love before. Now that is something we can all be more concerned about. That is a red flag because, uh, uh, like, I don't think he's young. They're all young, but I don't think he's like in his early 20s or something like that. He's in his late 20s. If maybe he actually might even be 31. I think he's 31. And that's more concerning to me because I feel like a person who is, once you kind of hit late 20s into your 30s, so on and so forth, and you have not been in love before, that's a red flag. Then that makes me start to think, okay, maybe you are then. Or maybe you were, and now you're catching up. But it's like, I feel even an F boy. I don't feel okay. Two things. An F boy could be an F boy because that's what they want. They want that from day one. They don't give a shit. Number two, an F boy can also become an F boy because they've been in love, had their heart broken, and they're like, "Fuck that, I'm out. Like I'm gonna do me and not worry about it anymore." So you've never been in love, never. That's that's interesting. That would be interesting to me. It's that's weird, but um, anywho's, he talks to Hannah. Hannah is the one who quit her job, by the way, and he says to her, "This was so stupid." He says to her, "Did anyone ever tell you your name backwards spells Hannah?" Are you kidding? Like, my guy. And they say he's a smooth talker. Okay, then. Um, so she's from West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road. Okay. Now that I got that out, we can keep going. So, um, I did write down here, her laugh is something else. Her laugh is going to grate on my nerves. That's what's up there. But anyway, then we're kind of following her a little bit now, and she says that I'm so nervous about this. She talks about quitting her job again. We see her talking to Leo. He is an art dealer. And she I think she asks him. Oh, yeah, she does. She asks him, "Do you love Van Gogh?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I love Van Gogh." My girl, he's an art dealer. If y I feel like if you don't like Van Gogh, we got a problem. Who doesn't respect nor like Van Gogh? You know? Like, and is that the only person you could come up with? You couldn't come up with anyone else niche? Like, I don't know. Uh, what's that guy there? That no one knows what he looks like? Banksy, something like that. Something a little more niche. I mean, I don't know a lot of my arts either. My artists, my artistes. I don't know a lot of them either, but like something. Van Gogh. Okay. So anyway, she is a history buff, as am I, so I have a little bit more respect for her. He says that I like you. Okay. We're just going right in there. Then we follow Leo a little bit. And he says he's very grateful to be here. We see him talking to Brittany. Brittany, my God, where, where did y'all find her? Because I think she is a very smart person. I do think that. But holy hell, when this girl entered the picture, this is not the voice I was expecting to her. Like, I'm just like, but what? Okay, let's just go through it because I'm probably gonna start doing like a little bit of a monologue here, because wow, we have Tiger Lily on one end, and then we have Brittany. I'm just like, oh, okay, let's go into it. So when he tells her his name is Leo, my girl comes back out with, "Oh, you mean like Leo DiCaprio? Oh God, oh we're just starting off hot on the first time." Leo DiCaprio. Okay. All right. You are his type. Actually, she might be too old for Leo, but anyways. Um and I did right here. She sounds like Tiger Lily. She really does. Like maybe she would also be okay if he was a serial killer because she'd love him anyways. Like we could just like, as long as he doesn't turn you into a skin suit, it'd be fine. It's gonna be fine. You know? Anyway. Um He says that he's a planner, he likes to plan, and she's like, "You" I guess she says to him, like, "You must have, like, a brain, I guess, to be a bit of a planner." We learn a little bit more here about Britney, and she says that she's dated a lot of rock stars, and she's like, "I'm, like, a trophy wife? Like, I wanna be a trophy wife because, like, I am a trophy." And she's like, "I can make any guy fall in love with me, and, like, I want a guy who can cook because I hate that, and, like, because I have to eat." And she said the last thing that she cooked was a smoothie. Fitch, you don't cook smoothies. You don't cook smoothies. You put the ingredients into a blender and hit the button and it blends. You add whatever else you need to add into there. You hit the button and it blends. That's not cooking. Unless you're using a stove top or an oven, you're not cooking. Hell, I'll even give you the microwave, although that's not cooking either, but whatever. I'll even give you the micro. Actually, no, scratch that. I'm not giving you anything. You need to be using a stovetop or an oven. And unless you're using a stovetop or an oven, that is not cooking. This woman is delightful. She works as a beach cleaner. That's an interesting job. And she cannot spell physicist. That's okay. I can't really spell that either. It's fine. Um, so we have Garrett. who is a physicist, and we see him talking to Taylor, and they both play sports. And she says that she hated physics. Same girl, same. Listen, I did a physics course in my last grade, like a psycho. I did 3 different sciences. I did chem, bio, and physics. I liked chem. Chem didn't like me, so there was a difference. I liked bio, although I didn't like dissecting anything. I didn't dissect anything. My teacher forced me to touch it because he was mean. He wasn't mean. That's wrong. But he just did it to he said he would fail me, so I had to touch it. Ugh. Anyways, anyway, moving on. Physics? I hated physics. The best part about physics for me was that my teacher would let me go to, I think because we had 2 different lunches back in high school, and you get one or the other. And I was on I was on lunch where I didn't have any of my friends, and so I hated that. So he would sometimes let people go to the second lunch. That was the best part about physics. Anyway, so they both have something tats. I can't remember. They have some tats that they both kind of have. Then we kind of head back to the quarters for everybody. And that's kind of that. I think we go to the next day and we got Tim, and we see him talking to Alex. She loves astrology, which I think is the main reason we got a lot of information about their zodiac signs this season. He is a Libra. She is a Leo. And he has a tattoo of a lion. So they're like, oh, look, it's meant to be because you're a Leo and I have a lion tattoo. Okay. Anyway, both of her parents have MS, and I definitely understand this because my father has MS. And her dad tends to fall a lot, and that's something my dad experienced as well, prior to him being in the wheelchair. So it happens. It's unfortunate. And her stepmom has to take care of him, because, there's sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days, and I don't know if her dad's in a wheelchair, if he's mobile, in any way, but yeah, it's tough. And her mom has to walk with a cane, so she's mobile, but she still needs the aid. He had 2 sisters who have both passed away. So now, like, I think the only siblings he had were these 2 sisters, and it was him, and then they both passed away. He is the youngest in the family, and yeah, we'll get a little more information about that a little later. And then we got Tyler, and he's talking to Ashley A. And she wants to have all the phone passwords. Won't you be hiding shit from me? She wants it all. I want it. Okay, I'm not gonna sing High School Musical. Let's move on. Um, Garrett says Taylor kind of reminds him, if he were to name a movie that I guess reminds him of her, it would be Shrek 2. What? Not even Shrek 1 when Princess Fiona is still human most of the time. You go to Shrek 2 when she's an ogre? Oh, oh right. I wouldn't pick that, but anyways. Leo is then talking to, who was he talking to? Brittany. Brittany, yeah. I think her mom passed away. I was a little bit confused about this, but I think she might have. He grew up kind of well off because he kind of took over this art business thing. So he kind of always was pretty well off, he said. He likes that he's financially stable. I think we all would like to be financially stable. But his parents, or one of his parents, I can't remember, got cancer, and he inherited the family business from that. So he says, if you got bills, like, do you believe in 50-50? Or she says that, I think she asked him that, like, do you believe in splitting those bills 50-50? And he says, no, but he doesn't want to pay out everything. Like, he wants still that, like, he understands that if I make more money, like, I should be contributing a little more, but I don't wanna be the only one who's contributing, which I think is understandable. And she says, "Thank God, because, like, I gotta pay for my nails and my hair and, like, shopping, and, like, I don't wanna be, like, paying all the bills." Like, my last boyfriend took care of me, like, 100%, and, like, that's kind of, I guess, what she expects now, or at least some percentage. He's worried that maybe someone only wanted him for the money, and she says, "If that is what I wanted, then, like, I would've done that a long time ago." Okay. Then they start talking baby names and yay. Then we are in the quarters and Leo says, "My grandpa, he got cancer. He died. Then my grandma, she got cancer and she died. My mom, she got cancer and she died." What the fuck? He says, "My dad and my stepdad both got cancer and I'm an only child." Ugh. Here, before I finish this up, there's a there's a curse on this family. Everyone is getting freaking cancer. I would be terrified if I were him. Now, I know sometimes when it comes to cancer like that, you know, depending on the family member, um, the in the immediate family, there's potential that that person can potentially get that same cancer as well. That's obvious. I know that. But the stepdad, who's like, what is happening? What is happening? His mom, his dad, they're not related. I'm just, wow. Stepdad, grandma, grandpa, everybody. Lord, oh, man, poor man. I wish him the best. I really do. Um, but he says, "I got money. I don't hurt for money." Then he talks Italian art lingo. I don't know what the hell he said, but anyways, he talks that. Um, he's like, "I want a wife that is curious and that is cool to Hannah." I think this is what he's talking to Hannah. I think I don't remember, but yeah, he's talking to Hannah and and Brittany as well. I think is also cool with that. Then Leo, no, so was he in the quarters? He was in the quarters and he said this, so he was saying both of them are cool with it. Then he is talking to Hannah. He's like, "I had a dream with you. I pictured you were white because I mean, come on. And then you walked in or something like that, something around those lines." And he's like, I love that you wanted to know about me and not about my job." And Hannah's like, "Well, I really, you know, don't know, a lot." I think she said, "I don't know like a lot about you." And she says that she is scared of death. Okay. That's honest. And she's like, "If I could be a vampire, I would. And I would turn you, of course. Because, yeah, why not?" And he says, "I think we might be like twin flames." Okay, y'all, okay. I'm sure we have all seen the docs for twin flames. It was everywhere. Netflix had one, Amazon Prime had the other, or HBO, one of them. We all saw, okay? I didn't see one, I saw the Netflix one, whatever. I've heard things on the other one, whatever. Stop saying twin flame. Stop it. Stop it. It's not cute. I mean, the terminology twin flame is not solely to the cults. It's not. It's a term that they took and twisted. But under the circumstances where this is a cult that is still very active currently, how about we just not? You know? How about we just don't? Because then, no. It's a little dangerous. And Love Is Blind, shame on you because you could have edited that out. It's just not. It's not cool. Um. Anyway, Hannah then talks to Nick D, And she used to be a cheerleader and she dated the quarterback. So she's like that typical girl in high school, popular girl who's a cheerleader who dates the sports guy, the jock, and all that. Then, yeah, she said something around the terms of the Taylor Swift to my Travis Kelsey. And I said, "Bleh." Like, enough. Listen, no hatred on the Swifties, no hatred for that. I don't care though. Like, there are better things to look up to, and you have to look up to celebrity couples. Like, I don't give two shits. But enough of that rant. Let's move back to this. So, his celebrity crush is Beyonce and Scarlett Johansson. Hers is Henry Cavill. Same girl, same. Actually, my celebrity crush is Idris Elba, but anyway. They talk about, I think, like them being potentially, I guess, being ugly later. I don't know why I wrote this, but they will love them anyway. But or their kids, their babies being ugly because babies are ugly when they're first born. Some of them, not all of them, but when they're first born, most of them are. They look a little bit alien. It's fine. Um, but they would love them anyways because those are them. Those are their kids, right? Then he tells her, no matter what, you're gonna be beautiful to me. Someone says son of a biscuit, and I was like, that's something that they could have used in Elf, I feel. Anyways. And someone said, I hate broccoli, which, oh, right. Hannah and the ladies talk about Nick D. And they literally tell her, he isn't it for you. He's too smooth talking. He's probably an F boy. He isn't it for you. And I thought like, that's not for you to decide. And you guys made a quick judgment on this guy. Like maybe I don't know enough. He doesn't give me Matthew vibes or Sam vibes or any of that vibes, you know? He doesn't give me that yet. Maybe I'm missing something, but even if he was giving me all of that, like I think it's so inappropriate for the other women to basically tell her, no, that's not it for you. She needs to go through that journey. Now, she's going to piss me off because she takes that and runs with it. You've showed your age because she's one of the youngest ones here. And she kind of was always like, just because I'm young doesn't mean I don't want to get married, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, okay, but then you need to step up and realize that no matter what people may say or won't say or whatever, you are the person who needs to take charge in your relationship. She's about to piss me off. So let's get to it. It's in this moment I'm like, oh honey, you're on the wrong show because you're not ready. You're not ready for what this is about to be. You have to be prepared for people to particularly not like the man you're with and be like, you go accordingly of what you see fit. Anyways, so we got Garrett and Taylor, and they talk about their families. Her mom is an angel and a gangsta, she says. And he says that he has only ever dated white girls before. He also says, you are calculated in what you say, but I worry, what could you be hiding? Now, I believe if I'm correct here, Taylor is the one who, I'm not sure if she's full, like, I don't know exactly what her background is, but she is Asian. I don't know if she's mixed or it's hard to, I think she is mixed. She looks mixed, but this is the one. And it appears that she's hiding that, which on one hand, I understand why she's doing it. I think that, um, you shouldn't be with someone, you shouldn't be banking on that, or better terminology is severe. You shouldn't be picking someone based on their race, their background, or anything like that, because sometimes some people have their preferences and ignore everything else, right? So I don't think that's how you should be going about it, but she's purposely hiding it, right? So she's just strategically hiding it. And she gets a little offended that he calls her calculated in this moment. But girl, you are being calculated. Just because you're being calculated does not necessarily mean you're being manipulative, because I don't think he's being manipulative, but she takes it as a negative connotation, but she is. You are. And that's not a bad thing. Would I go that way? I don't know, because on one hand, I get it. On the other hand, I also don't wanna be with someone who may not find me attractive just generally based on my race, which is bullshit, but that's the reality that we live in. You just don't want that to happen. So, he worries that she is hiding her background on purpose, which she kind of is. He says that I need to get to know you more before I take that next step with you, which I think is a fair situation. This is a very fast process. Like, I want to make sure that I'm getting everything that I need to get. Otherwise, I'm not going to propose. So she is open to that, but she does need that reassurance to know that she is not wasting her time with him, which is also understandable. So we have Tyler and Ashley talking. They're talking about, cooking breakfast for everyone. Like, they're kind of the ones that do that. She says that she has never been with anyone who cooks. That's a shame. It's kind of always been her to be the one who does the cooking. And he does not believe in gender roles, which I think is very important, I think, especially in this day and age. If that is what you prefer. Not everyone prefers that. Some people still want to have a relationship where gender roles are important, but um no, I don't know if the majority feel that way. I sure don't. Not I. Gender role what? There's certain things and I'm like, you're doing that. I'm not. But anyways, so they talk about what he is kind of good at. And they also, I think, in terms of cooking, and then they talk about his bucket list. He just goes skydiving and then Rocky Mountain climb. He didn't say that, but I'm just like, every time I hear someone say skydiving, I start singing. Anyway, so he says kind of wants to do that. He is afraid of heights though, so that would be an interesting situation if you go skydiving, but you're afraid of heights. But she says that she wanted to go skydiving um on like her wedding day, which doesn't seem like a good choice, but whatever, to each their own. And he talks about his mom, and basically she was ostracized, I believe, for having biracial kids. So her family literally said, "To hell with you, because how dare you have sex with a black man." And I know it was different times, but honestly, it wouldn't have been that different. We're talking like, I think he would be like early 30s. I think most of these people are early to mid 30s. We're talking early 90s, late 80s. Like, it's just unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. But anyway, she is Siberian, his mom, and they literally, all he kind of had was his mom and his grandma. But then his grandma passed away from cancer. So now he doesn't have her anymore. And I think his mom is still alive, but he, he doesn't have a lot of family, kind of his core family, and yeah. But not her boyfriend and girlfriend, y'all. They took that plunge, and tell everyone. And yeah. So Leo impersonates Hannah, pretending to sound like Hannah. And he says that Brittany, I think he said resembles his ex or something. I'm not sure. Which I guess made the voice. I'm not too sure though. But um and he says that she's going to be expensive, but y'all, he's got money. She's gonna be expensive. She's gonna be very expensive. Good luck to you. So Hannah then talks to Nick D, and this is where she's gonna piss me off, y'all. And she says to him, no one gets how she's still talking to him. So that's not their fucking concern. Nor should he give a shit. You shouldn't give a shit. If you like him and you think he could potentially be the one, you shouldn't care about what other people think. I really believe that. Like, I, I've had friends not like guys that I'm with, and I'm like, like if your reasons are legitimate, then I will explore that. But if they're really not legitimate and there's no basis to it, I don't give a fuck what you think. Because you're not the one who's with him. I am. So it's like she shouldn't care. But the fact that she does again, like, it shows her age a little bit. And I hate to say that because I want to believe that you think you're ready, but I don't believe you are. So she said she doesn't want to cut him out, but and he says, well, if that's what you need to do, then go ahead, I guess. I don't he's like he's kind of using that, but I think he does we'll get to it. So he says Nick says that his number one pick is Hannah. His number one pick is Hannah. And but obviously she has something that she needs to say to him. And she asks, like, why are you here? Okay, but then why are you asking him this question? Are you asking him this question because you yourself doubt he's here for the right reasons? Or is it because the other people are saying stuff in your ear? Like, I don't believe you get it. And she says, like, why are you doing this? And he says, dating is hard. And people judge him on how he presents himself, which is interesting that he says that. And he says, that first impression is important. And I guess sometimes people don't, I don't know. He doesn't really go into a lot of details, I guess, on how people think about him, but he says that he wants more than just a girlfriend. He wants that long-term relationship. He has been very clear on what he kind of wants, which I believe him. And, she says, you talk about, your stuff, and I don't think you would have issues in the real world, which is, again, very judgmental because I would also think, based on how Hannah looks, based on how she says that she wants this, that, and the other, I would also think you wouldn't have issues in the real world, but dating sucks. Dating is hard. Dating is hard for everybody. And the fact that you say that you think that he wouldn't have issues in the real world is really messed up. Why would you say that to him? Because, and again, we have to remember, and I think, like, there needs to be grace given to everybody. Just because I may talk to somebody does not mean that I'm going to date you. Does not necessarily mean that I'm interested in you in that way. Sometimes you just want to have sex with somebody and move on until you find the one that catches a little bit more of your interest than just that. And maybe that's how he's been moving through life. Maybe that's how these women that he's been encountering move through life. So the fact that you are judging him on something that is just incorrect. Your view is incorrect a little bit here, or you're judging without knowing the full picture. All of this is coming because of people talking and opening their big mouths and giving their 2 cents in something that does not involve them. And again, I mean, I know a lot of these women are kind of avoiding Nick D, and I understand if you want to, then fine. But you don't know if there's somebody in there who is also trying to sabotage your your idea of being with this person. We've seen it. it moves differently in each situation, but we've seen people try to sabotage. We saw that with Lydia, with Aaliyah and Uche. She maybe didn't want to be with Uche. Well, I think she probably did. Or at least to sabotage. But I do 1,000% believe that woman went on there to sabotage him and his chances of being in a marriage, being in a relationship with somebody. And she sabotaged. You don't know. Which is why I loved with UK that people did not talk about who they're dating and who they're talking to. Like, they might talk generally about their experience with a person, but they would leave that person nameless. You had Demi and what was her name again? Um, the one there who was with Freddie? What's her name? Who cares? But the one there who's with Freddie and then Demi, you have both of them talking to Ollie, and neither person knew that until one day Freddie's girl said it, and she's like, "Oh, shoot." Like, she really did not mean to say it. That's how you should be moving through this. You don't gotta tell everybody who you're dating or who you're talking to, like, because it creates the drama in the pods, but I don't want the drama in the pods. 90 Day. Love is Blind UK did so well. And yes, you have the drama here and there, but they did so well in comparison. It just kind of goes to show that you don't need this pod drama. And it's like the pod drama started because of Lydia, Uche, and Aaliyah. And it's like, it was fascinating in that. Yes, it was. But we don't need to constantly keep having it after that. It's I mean, I guess technically the pod drama would have probably started even the season before that, season 4, but it's just we don't need it. It's we don't. Anyway, let's go back to it. So she says, "We know you seem perfect, so why are you here?" Um, or he says this to her. Why are you here? She says to him, "Because of guys like you." Wow. You don't know what he is. And you're basing all of this because of what other people say. You don't know what he is. You don't know him enough to be accusing him of being that guy. She says to him that they are not interested in me. They just think I'm hot. Um, and they don't want to worry about how I look. Or she said, I don't want to worry about how I look. And I just want to be me. And she said, let me be honest. I'm scared you're only interested in me because you think I am hot. And because he did kind of make a comment about how she was wearing like a bikini or something, and like the dream he had about her, she was wearing like a white bikini. And she's like, I'm having this gut feeling. No, you're not. No, you're not having a gut feeling. That's bullshit. You literally were told by other women that he isn't it for you. You're not having a gut feeling. Your gut feeling are women who can't keep their nose out of the situation, or better yet, you can't keep your mouth shut about who you're talking to. It's not a gut feeling. Anyway, that's a lie. Anyway, so he says, I think like we would have a great life, a good time. Sorry, she says, I think we would have a great life, a good time, great sex, but I don't know. And he says, I love talking to you. And first of all, it's funny. Can I say this? I want to say this before I finish up here. This is funny because you talk about you're worried he cares more about the superficial stuff. But then you just made a superficial comment. Sex, listen, as long as you're sexually compatible and you get that down and you figure that out, we're good to go. Sex can be taught too. You can teach people new tricks. So sex is very superficial. So why did you bring that up? Because he did not. You did. I just had to say that. But back to what he says here. He says, I love talking to you. I don't want you to be perfect. No matter what you do, I'm going to love you. And I want you to be my best friend, but also my wife. Then there's just this silence for the longest time, and she doesn't know what to do. She says she isn't sure she can spend the rest of her life with him. And she thinks that her connections with other guys are stronger. Um, maybe, maybe, but I don't believe you. So he says, well, I pictured myself being with you. As we know, she was his number one pick. Um, but I hope you find what you're looking for. And when she gets into the quarters, she's very upset. And Brittany comes in and blurts out um Leo's name. And Hannah's like, that is my number one. I don't believe you. I personally think Nick D was her number one, but she's trying to save face. And she's now having some regrets because it clearly she was broken up with Nick, and now she's finding out that Leo is having other connections that's not her. And I'm just like, so wait, I feel like we're getting a repeat here. I can't remember her name right now. Um, but I remember we had this similar situation. John was her name Johnny? Um, with a girl who was on season 5. She was kind of into um people's names are not coming to me, but she was kind of into um the one there who got rejected due to his debt. What was his name again? Can't remember his name. Anyway, we had her and whatever. I think her name was Johnny, and she too did the exact same thing. Once it didn't work out with one person, she backpedaled to the other guy, and she's like, "Oh my god, like I'm so sorry," because that's what literally what she's called to do. She's gonna backpedal, and it's like, first of all, I think you made a mistake. And by the way, can I also preface, because we'll talk about it in the second episode, because we're ending this episode here. The With the second episode, it's kind of like, wait, this all happened in one day. Like, she broke up with him in the morning. By the afternoon, she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, it's ridiculous to me. And I personally feel like he shouldn't go back to her. Spoiler alert, as we kind of already know anyways, he will, but it's just like, I didn't want him to go back because I'm like, teach her a lesson. She needs to understand that you don't base your life on other people's opinions. People are gonna have opinions. Everyone has opinions, but your opinions do not matter in my life. I'm gonna go accordingly, because I have to live it, not you. But anyway, that is it for this episode. We definitely talked about the first episode longer than I expected to, because I usually like to combine these episodes and at least two into an episode, but that is not what happened with this one. So we're going to end this here. So the next episode you will be getting will be Love is Blind episode 2. That will be the next one. And but yeah, that's basically that. And again, thank you for your patience. We're definitely going to be plowing through these episodes. We're going to get it all done. We're doing it. It's going to happen. But that is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2@hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, dot podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Week Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.